Hello, Kunu. Hope you are well, my man, and thank you very much for booking these in. Do appreciate it, and I can completely understand your situation. Times are busy, but hopefully you can watch these whenever, in bed, whatever, and you can hopefully use it to level up. I should just let you know, this is actually session 3, so we've got 3 more sessions together after this, so we can continue on in this method, or in the future if you want to have a live session, that would be great. And I can see that this is champ 3, div 3, so you're close to grand champ again, so congrats on that. And I'm curious to see this. So we've got 2 replays here we're going to go through, and nice. Okay, so right, let's start getting into the proper stuff then. So you've got this ball coming at you here, and now we're at the rank, if we want to push from GC1 to GC2, that we really need to make sure every single hit has a reason. Okay, it cannot be the reason that I just decided to do that to stop him, or I thought maybe this could do this or whatever. We really need a bit more purpose on this hit. So for example, this particular hit you do hits the ball in a position you cannot follow. By that, if you look, this ball's going to go right back off that wall, back into the middle, and as soon as it bounces, you're pretty much facing the wall, so you can't follow that. It's a giveaway possession, and actually GC2, and this is why we want to push into it, this is a goal. In all fairness, that should be a goal, no doubt about it. That should be a double tap or just a strong shot on net because your second man's out of position. So here, this needs more, and so to do more, we need to do less. So we really need to go back into the fundamental bag. We appreciate this ball is coming at you, okay? But the thing is, if we go straight away, if you got this correct, sure, you know, potentially you're going forward. But do we actually need to go forward here? Because we're going forward into this guy. He's waiting for it. So now we're getting to the level of we need to be not so much focused on this, but focused on the second man. And by focusing on the second man, by building that peripheral ability, we can see the net's open. Now, the next question you ask yourself, can I actually score this? Probably not, okay? This is where you have to sort of think, you know, do I have the ability to score this? It's probably not going to happen. They're already going to cut you off. So instead of attacking now, we want a soft touch here because I want to exploit free space. And this is what you're thinking if you want to push now into GC2, is you've got to start using the space of the pitch to create. If you try and play a linear game, you'll get shut down so quick as that happens. So here, instead of actually going into the ball, just face here and just jump. Literally just jump. All you've got to do is kill this ball. That's all you got to do. And if you could jump and it spills forward and it's dangerous, front flip and hit it away because you've saved your dodge. So let's just one more time here. You can see this develop. Okay, you've got the boost advantage. Ball comes in. Don't move. Don't move. Wait here. Wait here. Take that ball with a soft touch. Maybe reverse. And then we're off. Look at this. Hook shot. That's a goal, actually. So you probably could have scored that. Okay. Nice. Good second man work here. Don't need to flip here. And I'm literally going to point out pretty much everything if we want a perfect game, because we are going to be pushing into that. You know, if you want to get your fundamentals to the level of getting into GC2, high GC3, SSL, you know, you really need to be looking at everything. Because then, of course, you could add your mechanics in. But right now, we don't need to flip here. It doesn't do anything. So we might as well just drive. Just drive. Just drive. See how it didn't do anything? And I know that sounds silly. You're thinking, yeah, but it also didn't cost me anything. But it's little habits like that that we don't necessarily need. Oh, that's a risky shot for you. And the reason is, first of all, great positioning. Second of all, you're forcing this game too much. You're shooting when they're both there. Now, if you get the right shot on this, fair dues, I can appreciate you're probably going to score that. But if you don't, if you hit this flat, this is a goal because you've got 2 players back and your teammate is behind the play. But let's say you shoot that flat, or this guy's really good and he decides to go into the net instead of straight lining it, okay? So he does this instead, which he should do. And he just goes, wham, there's a goal. Okay, so you need to put yourself now as you push up into the higher ranks into positions where you can't also get countered. So you have to look at this as like, you know, I probably can't score this. So if I can't score it, I have to put a shot on that can't also be shot straight back at me. And that can. This kind of shot can. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can actually just come here and hit this like with the side of your card to hit it high as you grab the boost. Or you can just hit it into the corner softly. And that's probably the best thing you could do. So as you come here, Yes, you're on a 2v1. This is where camera stuff comes in now. You should be looking at this and just quickly checking that. Okay, he's coming back. This is where we need to be now. And then here, this is too much work. Too much work. So instead, I'm going to slow down. I'm just going to single jump this high. So it goes flat into the corner. And now I'm going to come up with the ball here. See if I can bait them in. If they start coming in, if they're low, I might quickly accelerate it over the top. If they come in high, when they come in, as they dive for it, I'll just quickly turn away. Maybe I'll take a 50. Probably not the 50 though. But yeah, this is where we're at now. Like, see, because this shot isn't as good as it appears to be. One, your momentum's moving away from the shot, which means you're not going to get a powerful shot unless you hit the ball perfectly. Two, you're essentially flipping. Imagine the ball's not there. Okay, just imagine that ball isn't there. You're just diving into a corner, which means you're going to stick. And again, this is the stuff we need to get rid of. We're going to push into GC2, GC3. It needs to be really fundamental. Everything needs to be nice. So deeper here. Again, I'm picking out everything. Don't hate me for it, but I'm picking out everything. So right here, can he score? No. Can he create? Not really, because the ball's going away from him. So he can't shoot it down the middle. So I like what you're trying to do, block that area, but instead get right here. Right here. You know he's going to flip that away. Now, what you're thinking is I'll take it up for a shot. But again, what I want to do is I want to waste this player out. So as he hits this ball away, that's no danger to me. I'll grab. As he lands, grab, bang. There's the demo. Grab. I think the ball might be rolling this way in that situation. Grab. Turn this way like I'm going to hit the ball, but don't actually hit it. Fake. And now I'm here with the ball and loads of map space. Then I'll decide what to do from there. Let's see what happens. So yeah, whenever someone's on this backboard here, get right underneath their car, like you're going to trip them and demo them. To be honest, though, second choice is this, what you've done here. You've come sideways. Nice. That's fine. Absolutely fine. So you've got those two choices. I like that. Good spot. A little bit early on the jump, but good spot. So what I said, just a different perspective. You can absolutely do what you did. Okay? It's not a problem. With this, okay, don't sell your hand too soon. What you want to do, always think, can we get closer before we execute a shot? Right here. I'm right here now. And as I come in, actually, I think, do you know what? Now I can shoot. So now, see how you're already up? Because you're up, look at your hitbox allocation. So if you look at it, you've hit the ball right there, sort of in the middle. And that's not good enough at this rank because, well, it is at this rank. But if we want to go to the high ranks, I'm just making sure this actually is streaming. Wrong button. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, at this rank, we need more. We need low to high hits. This is a high to low hit. As you can see, it goes straight down. It's not enough. If it's rapid, granted, yes, it is enough if they're out of position. So what we want to do here, is I want to get closer with my boost. So, yep, okay, inside to out, don't mind that. Inverted triangle defending. And then I'm here, front end aggression, right here. And now what I might do is on this bounce, because they're backing away, I might do an air dribble. Or, because I'm so squared up, like, see how squared up I was before you took the shot? Bang! There's no way they're saving that. The advantage I have as well by doing that is I see you doing like a lot of air rolls trying to get around balls, and that's fair enough. But I really want to make the game fundamental because what that allows me to do is it allows me to recover quicker. It actually allows me to play the correct zone. So you've hit the ball into this zone, okay? But you're going to remain in this zone. If I can square up, get close, threaten them, bang! I'm moving forward with the ball. If it hits, if they save it, I'm in the same zone that the ball will end up in. You can see again. And essentially, I'm going to say it again here to you. Take that ball away. What have you done? Dove into the corner. And this is really where you start to extend your game out. You know, before we said we don't dive into the corners for a challenge. Now we've got to look for higher percentage shots. We can absolutely take a shot from here, but it's how you do it. You can't dive across to take that shot unless you are like, again, you have to hit it perfect. And you could say, well, by doing this, I hit it perfect. The chance of you hitting this perfect, even at pro level, are extremely low. You watch a good player from the corner, and probably one of the better shooters from the corner is Garrett G. And what Garrett G will do is he'll get really close. Because you need to get your angle first. He'll get here, then he'll jump and shoot. That's why he's so good. You're flying into a position that basically the position's changing with the ball's height. So you're just hitting it wrong. Basically, you're just hitting it too low. I mean, it's almost a shot. Don't get me wrong, a good shot. But you can see how it's just, it's okay. but it's not perfect. And we're going to look for like more, not obviously you can't get perfect, but more higher level stuff, you know. So good movement into position here. Again, you've sold your hand early. You've sold your hand early here. Now, this move you're trying to do is extremely difficult. This is something like a Zen or a Drali would do, where they actually hit the ball out of the sky into an air dribble. Generally, you'd want to go off the bounce, you know, because that's so hard to do. But the other thing that you've got to understand here is when to call it a day. Now, this is fine. That's fine. All right, if you put into, but this now, land, just land. You don't need to lean back and waste any extra boost. It's not going to do anything. What you really want to do here is you're in a sort of good position, but it's going to be really hard for you. You'd have to be really mechanical to control this. So you want to like look at the players again. You got one going for boost. You've got one too far away. He might come and attack this ball, and ideally you don't want him to. So you're going to jump like this, and when you jump, he'll turn. See how he turns? And now I land. Okay, maybe I literally tap my boost to make it look real. Now I land. Now I get the ball and free space. So now what I could do is instead is go up for an air dribble bump, or what I'd probably do is soft touch control it, like soft touch control across this way, because this player is moving this way. So I'm gonna, and this player is really far out the play, and so what I'd probably do is soft touch it this way, which would be difficult because if this player wants to come to me, he's got to curve. Like, he can't just teleport his card to face me dead on. He's got to curve, which is going to give me time to get around the back of him. And then I might just take a hook shot. But that's what you want to be looking at now. You really want to be looking at these two are telling you what to do at this rank. As opposed to before, you're just sort of doing your own thing. Now we're playing to them. Because if you go for an air dribble bump, you can bump one, but maybe the second guy gets it. You could do a really hard shot and then try and read the rebound. Can be difficult because, again, you got two players in traffic and this guy just got the boost. So you really want to be thinking like that. Double touching is a great idea, but it's mechanical. It's one of those things. It's what do you want? Do you want to work on those mechanics? But then you've got to know the limit of the mechanic, because, right, here's the problem people have is they'll go up and do this stuff and then go, yeah, because I'm leveling up my mechanics. But you're not really leveling up your mechanics, because by you doing this at the end of this, if you do that 1,000 times, that's still not going to do anything. You're just getting used to wasting your boost. So part of learning the mechanics is actually knowing when you can't create anymore. So like, yeah, I can't create anymore. So just land. You see what I mean? And that's how you'd level up the mechanic. And then again, never end up in the opponent's net unless it's a goal. But like right here, you've dodged into the net. So this is a bit too lenient. So I'm going to write some notes. By the way, I've got my notepad up here. So the first thing is create shots where you are able to recover. Try not to do excessive air roll shots around the ball, especially in the corner, because we're only 30 seconds in, and I think if you're pushing GC2, GC3, those are major mistakes for that rank, because you've ended up in the corner unable to recover, especially in the corner. The other thing is get close first, then decide your shot. And obviously we got like a lot more to go through. We've got the other replay as well, but this is the sort of stuff you want to be looking at. Okay, so good boost grab. Okay, so we're back here. This is great because what have they done? They've wasted the possession, haven't they? So if you look at this, no, look at this pointless touch. Look at it, it's absolutely pointless. So not a bad idea on the jab. This player is just touching this ball to stop you touching it. Now keep that in mind, because they're going to do that a lot, and that can be your way in, which it is. Okay, now you want to take your time here, because you've got him here. Like, your first touch really doesn't want to be up the wall. They're both on that side of the wall. You don't need to hit this ball because you're just hitting it away from yourself. They've just wasted their boost. If you let this bounce, you've now got a ball moving into the space. There's another goal. This is the only way you're going to score at this rank. Like, mechanics. Like, even a mechanical player here would not do this. Even if you took Zen, they would not just shoot the ball at the wall. They would let it bounce here, and then they'd go up into the air for a mechanical play. So you really want to be thinking along those lines. Like, don't flip and hit the ball away, because now you've lost your vision. So as soon as this happens and the ball's underneath you, you'd either have to go up instantly and rapidly, or you need to come out of ball cam and see what they're doing. Okay, so we're in this. Okay, so yeah, take your time here. Don't flip into the ball. Always try and make something happen. Making people do stuff, including it's like you forced yourself to do something. You haven't controlled yourself to do something. Okay, nice. This is not gonna make you a better player. What you're doing with now. Okay, leave it. You're air rolling so much that your car is out of alignment. You're actually shooting yourself sort of down. If you boost from here, you'll actually fall in that direction because you haven't got enough propelling the car upwards unless you have unlimited boost, and then it'll just like push at that angle like an arrow. But with normal boost the way it is, you'll just basically fall out of this. So the air rolls you're doing are excessive. They actually remind me of the old Cooksa roll, so you're a bit of a shout out there. So you're sort of same as the one earlier. You're doing an excessive like Cooksa roll movement as opposed to a nose up movement, which would help more. Let's go back again. Again, I'm picking everything here because I want you to be as good as possible. So yeah, okay. So here, just lean back. Literally just lean back. You're actually in a fine position, really. I mean, personally, I'd look out a ball cam, see if I could bait someone in. Doesn't look like anyone's actually gone for that, so that's why I'd look out a car cam, out a ball cam, sorry, into car cam, and then I'd probably go, okay, now I just lean back, and I'd go up if I really wanted to, and I'd hit this upwards, bonk, and I'm just facing forward here, and then I'd probably continue to boost, get the flip reset here, okay, and then come off the ceiling, and you're with the ball here. And then you can use a little bit of boost to get under it if you want. And then here, it's probably going to be hard to get that shot off. So it might just be worth either using a single jump to get a bit more height if they come in for a block 50, if you're a little bit lower. Or just sort of pushing it at the wall with a side flip, diagonal flip, something like that. Unless you've got godlike mechanics, you know. So yeah, there we go. So, okay, we've done this. Now look at your car's position. You're boosting forward here. And this is why you really even need to decide here like what your goal is as far as your mechanics, because this forcing this is not going to make you good at mechanics. You're going to just learn bad movements because your car is facing downwards and you're boosting. Whereas really you should stop boosting straight away if you wanted to go for this, which you shouldn't because you've already lost momentum down. This would be a waste. But if you really want to, you'd have to lean back or get this nose up somehow. You could do an air roll, whatever, then reboost. But right now you're boosting into the floor and then you're going to try and recover it and you're just going to waste all your boost. So check this out. See, look at the way the boost is propelling you. It's not really doing anything. And now you finally fought that little bit to stay where you were. It's just a waste. It's just not going to happen. Hopefully you can see that in slow motion here. Look, we are boosting. Ready? So we hit this. Now we're boosting down. We're actually boosting at the ground. And now we're boosting through a twist, which means we're not going to get any height. So you really want to be thinking, if you are doing that kind of play, don't just boost. You've got to make sure you're boosting at the right time, but I wouldn't recommend that play. Brilliant. Brilliant. The only way this could get any better is if you power slide differently, but I can actually see what you're going for. I actually really like that. The only thing I would say is instead of power sliding that way, power slide this way, so your nose is ready to go here if this ball comes across, as opposed to here when you're now, if the ball comes across, you're actually power sliding away from it. So in all this movement, the ball can come into the net, whereas here, if I power slide into it, I can always move in. I'm ready to move into the ball. Again, we're picking on everything. The other thing you should do here, quickly pop out a ball cam right now. Where's their second man? There's not been any switch of your car cam here into car cam. You've been in ball cam the whole time. Okay, so your vision wants to be higher. So use your camera more. Right now we're following, so we want to be a bit more here, I would say. Okay, let's see what happens because there's a goal right now. So I'm a bit confused. Let's see how this works out. Yeah. So here is one of the things that can go wrong with the inverted triangle. And this is if you're sort of challenging someone across here. Now you did it earlier well because they were grounded and it was about here. So you were able to land on your wheels. But right now, because you're so close to a wall, what happens is you essentially hit the wall. So again, we've lost our recovery. So every time you're dodging, you tend to dodge into walls. We need to, this is why it's so important to dodge with the momentum of a ball, or don't dodge. You can jump into that challenge. You don't need to dodge. And I think one of the issues I'm seeing here is you're constantly trying to reach things and smack things. So all you had to do here was just drive over to this ball. Like, again, just drive and then just jump. Just literally just jump and hit that ball forward, an air roll, and land on the wall. And now you're actually able to do something. So you could land an instantly edgeable bump or whatever. But because you keep dodging into things, you see here, you're just stuck. Okay, so just really be aware of this dodging, because this is happening quite a bit. Not bad. Not bad. What I would actually say here is potentially you might be able to score this one, but I think that is like really excessive. What you could have done here is took a second, because again, you're sort of selling your hand too early, but I think the assist is a better idea, in all honesty, for like the average play. But you could have came here on this bit here and potentially jumped up and shot that into the open net, but that could have been a bit quick. So I think that touch there should have just been a single jump so you can land. But this is decent. Yeah, this is decent. The air roll's not bad there. You didn't just know that the air rolls did not make a difference there. Okay, literally not air rolling would have done the exact same thing in this situation. The air roll wasn't actually required because you're already squared up. You're literally squared up with the ball right now. The point of an air roll is to help your car move before you hit the ball, or to help you like manipulate your car into a position. But you're perfectly squared up. So you just, instead of doing the spin here, just jump back lean like this. And then what you can do is just turn your car and just clip it here. And then that will go a bit more over there. But still, I can't hate on it, you know. Probably just trying to get loose. But just know that. The reason I'm pointing this out is that a lot of these spins you're doing aren't helping your game. And they're not helping you become more mechanical, because you're just forcing it. And because you're doing that, you're just learning bad habits, like boosting when you're, you know, basically nose down in. So I don't mind that. You know, I'd rather you attack the mid boost. It's more valuable, but I can appreciate you going back. At least you do get the mid boost here. And I think this is a great fake from you, in all honesty, because your fake is so powerful here, the way you come at this guy, that it makes him flip straight away. And it's a really nice fake. You didn't need to go there, though, but great fake. And this is good. Again, you're flipping instantly, and now we can't do anything with this ball. That's better. At least you didn't flip there. That's well played. But to see how crazy I'm being, I'm always, and that's because I want you to get better, is here, you faked him. Slam your brakes on. Slam your brakes on. Now move here. Take this soft touch, like maybe even a single jump. Then maybe after wave dash, I don't know, and then flip it. You see what I'm saying? Don't try and just like flip into every ball. Okay, almost. Don't flip into this. Yep. That's why. That's an insane recovery, though. But this is why, because you're playing reach here and you're side on. Your triangle defending is inverted, right? And the idea of a triangle defense is to basically, you're doing it right because you're funneling the players. Because you shouldn't go for triangle defending here. But you're constantly going for an inverted triangle, which is a risky play, and it's something that you want to use sparingly. And just to sort of clarify what an inverted triangle versus an outside, you know, a normal triangle is. Usually when you grab the boost is where you use a triangle, because you know they've got no boost. So when they try and push it here, down the middle, as you back off here, you cut them off, creating a triangle, and that's where you side flip, which is essentially what you're doing here. But it's inverted. Okay, so you've got your starting place here. Okay. And it's inverted because you're coming towards the wall as opposed to going into the midfield with the flip. And the reason that's more useful is that you've got recovery options. You know, you can't hit a surface. You're able to land and then take a shot. Whereas here, you can hit the wall, which is why generally we're not a big fan of this. Either you can, if you really want to score this and you've spotted this, you can do it the same thing you're doing, but instead just single jump into it again. Just get in line, just single jump, and then you can always land and turn and grab this. Because you keep flipping into things, you're throwing your ability to recover. This is also risky. Personally here, he's got so much momentum. I wouldn't try and keep the pressure going here. I would turn away, let him play this into space, and funnel it. Like take a side flip here with the nose facing this way, so that you push the ball over here as you land, and then you can grab this boost. And now you're forcing him to hit the ball off, you know, in an aerial sense, which is going to be difficult for them because that ball will be moving away from him when he goes for his aerial. So when you think about an aerial, people like to go up and like jab it to get them. But if that ball's going away, it doesn't work. This is why sometimes people will see videos and go, my opponents always do aerials. The difference is when I'm defending, I'm taking that momentum forward. Let me try and show you. So imagine this ball's coming down here, right? And instead of doing best ball, what you did, I'd do this. So that ball, see how it's moving away? So it's really tricky. So if you imagine right now, I'm going to go for an aerial play. Okay, let's see. And I've sort of, that ball's going away from me. If I'm like trying to, it's so hard for these players to reach it. But they think that they can because it's like there. But really, people want this kind of setup, don't they? They want the ball to go up like this. So they've got this easy setup to finish. And that's what we're doing. We're taking that ball away from them. So one thing you can do is if you are going for these sort of challenges, you can just single jump into it like this so that you're able to stay behind it. All right. Or what you can do instead, which I would recommend here, is if they're pushing this and he's got a lot of momentum, instead of keep trying to cut him off, like just try and bait him, get on the inside and try and do the side flip with the ball like this. So see how it rolls away. So he will trick himself into thinking he can do the aerial and he can't. Really, really powerful stuff that is, because that's how you can stop all the players aerialing the ball, even in positions. How come my players do flip reset? Because you're giving them opportunities to, as opposed to doing that kind of defensive pattern. Okay, so I think I lost a bit here, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, try just single jumping this or just turning away. I would really recommend turning away. So imagine you turn away here because again, where's the threat? Was he hitting it at the ball full pelt? So again, he wouldn't have an aerial here. Like he would not have an aerial. So I'd go off and grab this like this, and then I'd turn it into this position here. And if he hits that again, look at his boost levels. Then I'd just come in and I'd grab this. I don't care if he makes a play from the, I'd grab this and I'd come up here because what's he going to do? Play at the net on 0 boost? Boom. Oh, look at that. Perfect. I didn't even know that was where it was going, but it always goes there. That's why I always go high. And then just backflip, and then you're fine. Just keep to that system. That movement in the system is like, it really is like a gold standard for defending, because the ball will just naturally go to those spots. Like you can move a couple of inches wherever you need to be. Good rotation back though. A little bit short on this turn. Ideally turn a little bit more in the net, because now you've got to go. Whereas really this should be a goal for you. If you didn't push out, you wouldn't have to go here. You could let him hit this at the net. Like, not at the net, but right here. If you're here, right, that shot for him is so hard to score. And fair play if he gets that in, because even if he hits it on target, he shouldn't have enough power. And if I'm in the right position, which I am, I can just shoot it onto net. Let's actually see, would he have scored this? Because it's a low percentage play. Nah, he wasn't scoring it, which I didn't think he would, because it's just so low percentage, because he's coming across in an opposite direction. So it was going to hit here. So if you would have done a better, like, you know, full rotation, like it's what you want, that's fundamental. He would have missed that, and you just dribbled it in. Never got. I think that's about 4 goals now. You're under the ball, and you need to use your car cam here. So boom, under the ball, instantly go into car cam. Go into car cam. What do you see? So as soon as you go into car cam, which would put you here, you instantly see onks. All right. So what would I do? Turn away, go up the wall, and I'm here. Wait, and then I just drive here, and then that's fine for teammate. Teammate hits it, then you come down here. And then you could always follow in. Just be aware of the sort of this. Yeah, there we go. You're just in ball cam a lot. What were your notes before? Front end aggression with intent. I think that's gotten better. Match the height of the ball on the wall. That could still do with some work. Thinking more about turning away. That looks like it's gotten better. More central second man. That's improved. Turning towards the wall instead of infield. That looks better, to be honest. If in a good position, stop moving. That could still be improved. Play for more space. That definitely could be improved, because those couple of plays you hit the ball away from yourself could play to space. But okay. Nice. Yeah. See how you're instantly hitting this away from yourself every time. You get an opportunity and you're just giving it away every time here. You really want to change this So look, free ball. Free ball. You have got the free ball. You're low on boost. Look at them. Forget the ball. They're both driving away. Both of their noses are away. Grab this. Now you're at 10 or something. You're at 32. Okay, then I'm just going to come to the ball. And I could try and shoot this, but I'm also not high on boost. So I'm going to touch this here. Get into space. 44. Maybe he comes across here and I would take a 50 because I've got the better position here because I'm moving that ball. But let's say they don't. 44, 56. Now I'm looking good. 68. Potentially a hook shot opportunity. Do you see what I'm saying? Or I just drive it around the corner, grab, demo hunt. What I don't want to do is throw it away. And if I am throwing it away, like really square up my car. Like you're good at this. You've squared your car up well here. You squared your car up well on that aerial earlier. And now you're doing a diagonal flip, front flip this. Because you're just like perfectly squared up. But I don't know if you'd get the power on it. I really don't. Okay, good movement here. That was nice. That was a good dodge over the boosts. That dodge makes more sense because you can throw it forward to the teammate. That's a really nice pass, actually. Okay. Nice. Good demo. Off the wall, off the wall. Yep, there you go. Nice. Not bad. This is better. Opportunity. You could potentially shoot this one straight away, like as if, you know, one of the ones I'm telling you to. Yeah, you could definitely nail that straight in there. I think this is the thing. You really got to get this up. Is this like looking at the play? You know where that ball's going now. You got the experience. You're grand champ. You know where that ball's going. So you could close your eyes and probably hit that ball. So now I can, yeah, keep moving, obviously, because you know where the ball's going. So you'd keep moving. I'm watching him. Okay, he's just spawned there. Wham! There's the open net. If you are taking a soft touch here, hopefully you don't die for this because you're not going to win it. Yeah, you're not going to win this ball because you're chasing it down too much. And again, like, remember, in defense, 50s generally work better for the people defending because they've got way more protection with the backboard and stuff. And you've got more chance of sticking to a surface. See what I mean? So that has stuck you in. You now can't react. Again, come overhead. Imagine the ball's not there. You just dove into the corner. You see what I mean? That's what's going to make the difference. You've really got to start now at this rank. Okay, let's say you hit that. Right, I cannot win that 50. So what I would do is I would get close to the ball. I would jump and I'd turn my car sideways like this. And then I would take the contact and then I would side flip. So that I'm landing with my nose this way. So as I side flip, I do land in the corner, but I'm actually facing this way and I can drive off. Or I wouldn't like flip, but you're constantly diving forward. So your nose is facing forward, which means you've got to do this turn on the wall, which takes too long. And now do you see what I mean? And that should have been a goal. And at a higher rank, GC2, you'd hope that would be a goal. Nice try on the pass. Dangerous though, and we can see why. If this guy's a better player, notice he just cuts off this rotation. If he was a better player, he would do this rotation pattern here, and he would just go wham, and there's another goal. This is why these shots that you're doing, these passes, that was not bad at all, but it's got a hell of a lot of risk because you're essentially hitting the ball downwards in front of their net, and you can't recover for a second. Now you can. Whereas what you'd want to do here, it's a tough one. Match the height of the ball first, I'd probably go for. I'd probably go up here. And that's going to be really awkward. So I'd probably try and get here and see what's going on. And then I might try and just jump off the... Like, so you'd hear... Like, it's so hard to do with the camera. Jump off. And maybe... Like, I'd be here now. Try front flip. Which would shoot the ball towards that back post. But not only would it do that, I'd also be moving there. And obviously, because I can see him, I can see he can't shoot on net. If he was in the net, I would just jump down into here. And then try and shoot maybe at front post. Or just tap it over the top with a single jump. Again, the players should dictate what you're doing now for these upcoming ranks a bit more. Like the only other option you've got is you just get like world-class mechanics, which take a long time to grind. And again, one of the things that a lot of people do is they try and grind it and they force the bad habits. Okay, have a look at this. So notice your turn. That's not bad, but little subtleties now. Where are we? This board is coming to the wall. We don't mind that. So instead of turning dead on, I'd turn side on. I'll let it just tap my car as I move away with it. Good job turning away there. turning away would be better here, like right here, because you remember, I think it's where are we? This, you see this highlight here. Think more about turning away, and so what you do here is you turn in again, and so what happens is you're hitting that ball forward from yourself. Now they've missed a trick here, but in another rank they won't. So when you come here and you hit that ball away, look, because he waits, he does the right thing, he waits, you hit that ball there, a higher ranked player is just going to go here and just shoot that ball into their teammate. If their teammate's not there, they're just going to take it. They're just going to take it away. So just be aware of hitting that forward. What would probably be better in that situation is obviously soft touch that and take it, but you've got this. Now grab, match the height of the ball on the wall, so but face away, so I'm here. That's about the height of the ball, and I'm here. And I move with it, and I decide when to cut it off, but still good counter. Nice demo, well played. Yep, good camera usage. Okay, I was going to say keep checking, nice. Okay, good, slow down, slow down. This is good, this is really good. Nice pass from them. That was nice, yep, really good from them. That is a brilliant play from them, to be honest. Where did it go wrong? I think, to be honest, I think you needed to take this ball. I really think you need to take this ball because essentially you've just reloaded them. And then here, you're loading the opponents up with the ball there. So, I wouldn't necessarily go for that play there. And then here, you don't need to demo this player because they've got the ball. So, it's not actually going to do anything. So, here, you'd come back here. And probably, you'd collapse into this and just demo this player and take the ball back on that forced rotation. But I can see you waiting central. Like, I understand this. But, yeah, you sort of swing early. Yeah, I mean, teammate dove into corner. Again, that is a major. It's pretty hard to defend a 2v1. Granted, to be fair, you also left them in a 2v1 that should have been a goal. And this is sort of the percentages. I mean, that's a great pass from them. Well played. It's just playing the percentages at the end of the day. You've had a couple of 2v1s that you guys have forced on each other by diving into the corner. And, yeah, it's about time they finish that. And that's why it's so important. Like, your teammate will do that and leave you into positions, but obviously knowing that you'll also do the same is important. And knowing that they will get their finish. Oh, and look at that flip. Okay, so this is good positioning. Now, what you've got to do here, it's an aerial ball and they've took the middle. This is a first man misplay. They've got the middle on an aerial. Now, this is really tricky because there's two ways to defend this. First one is you were to get onto the backboard here. So as it comes down, you can just sort of fall down and get it. But it's tough because of the way they're moving. I wouldn't go for that one because it's not threatening enough. He hasn't gone high enough. So the next thing you've got is you've got to wait here. You keep moving past the front post there. And you can only do that if you're going to do this. Which is fine if you do that. You might have got it. Again, difficult. So what you actually want to do here is you want to wait. You wait, you wait, you wait. Because this play is dangerous and you need to be able to accelerate across the face of the net. You haven't been able to get into a position of deep net because of the way the play is. You're not first man and you haven't really tracked back down the middle because of the way the game's happened. This is quite a common position, so this will be good. So you wait here and you're basically having to play reactive. But when this shot comes here, you've got to push into this and you might be able to get it there. It's pretty fortunate the way it bounces on the post, but just to be honest, that was a bit of a misplay from your teammate here. Well, first of all, did they not follow up the kickoff? Okay, they didn't follow up the kickoff, so already you're at a massive disadvantage. Their opponent did. The opponent did follow up the kickoff, which is why they're at a really good advantage. That hit is high to low, so it gives them a free ball. That's why all your hits have to be low to high, unless you can control the ball. Really, like, notice this at this rank. You know, and this will happen into GC2, GC3. They're trying to push everything hard. Really, you'd want to just sort of hit that with the tires. You know, like get a flip reset and stay close to it and then just flip it away. Like, they're just smacking the ball away from themselves constantly. And we're doing it as well. So, yep, that's a really good shot from them, the way it rolled up. But we're creating too many 2v1s there. Teammates creating too many 2v1s as well. This is a lot of 2v1s. This is dangerous. Because it's a low ball, and I'm surprised you got away with that. Really here, like, I don't know if you spotted him fake, but because you jumped, I don't think you did. I think you're looking at a 50 here. And this is the danger. The way you're taking this 50, you're nose diving. Whereas realistically, if this guy was 50 and you'd want to jump and just turn your car sideways. And then as you get closer here, you would have to side flip through this. Now, because I'm side flipping, I'd push that board and I'd land here and I'd be able to recover. You got kind of fortunate. Let's have a look at this fake. Yeah, you got very fortunate because what the player would do is they'd side flip this. No player at GC3 is going to touch that like that. They just side flip it over here, take this ball, go up, and that's a goal. They just shoot it on the open net. So, yeah, just be careful with this nosedive. I'm going to write that. Be careful with the nosediving. Oops. Less nose diving, more side on. Yeah, and I'll expand these before I send it to you, bro, because yeah, so you get it. But like the main thing I'm seeing here, like, is just a lot of diving and a lot of movement. But you've gotten better. You've definitely gotten better at a lot of it. Like, that's perfect. That is perfect, right? This is exactly what you should have done. The last two plays we had this same situation. You single jump here as you move away, so the ball sticks to the wall and you actually are able to drive with the ball. The only way this gets better is the timing. Side flip now. The reason I'd side flip, I wouldn't go like at this angle. Okay, so remember the system. We're not trying to come at an angle here. We're always trying to get side on and flip into that position. And the reason is here you can get bumped and all this stuff. But the other thing is, the reason I want to be side on is I don't want to take any forward momentum out of that ball. It's really important. Okay, so lesson one, week one, lesson one goes over the side flip, and it's really important. Like, it's a key fundamental skill. Because you're turning slightly on your jumps or your side flip, you're stopping that ball with this bit of the car and it's going up. That sets up aerials. What I would do is I would face this direction perfectly and do a side flip. That way, I don't take forward momentum out of the ball. That's a key thing, okay? So I push the ball upwards as it moves away, and it negates their aerial ability. It just completely lowers, but it's a nice high ball, and it looks like they can do stuff, but they can't get it off the wall properly. So they end up just giving me a free possession. Little subtle things like that are why we do the fundamentals, okay? But you normally just okay doing stuff like this because that's fine for Grand Champ. But when you want to get higher level, this is why it's like, you know, I bang on about the fundamentals so much, is because it's way more layered than it meets the eye. We don't do that because not only does it mean we can get demoed, not only does it mean that we can't really create, not only does it mean all of this, it means that we kill the ball's momentum, which allows a nice aerial play. So it would be fine to get to Grand Champ, but if you want to push now to GC2, GC3, SSL, you need to move that ball away with you. All right. So, but that's better because you can move at least. But see how it allows him to pop it up. Let's just look at this because this is really key. So see how you're stopping and it just goes up, and it actually see how it almost goes back. That's a bad thing to do because a high level player is going to score that straight away. You've got to move that ball away from them. Like, they're constantly trying to get to grips with it. Actually, I don't mind that from the teammate. Okay. That looked really laggy. Okay, let's have a look at this. So he's up. Again, we can see Oinks. Right, once his ball's hit, we know no one can do anything. So probably I would either think about scoring like you've done. But I'm watching Oinks. So see how you've already jumped? I wouldn't have jumped yet. Not unless I was going to smash that ball. And I don't think I could reach it that way. I'd come a bit closer. And now I'm still thinking, can I? Yeah, I could definitely score that is what I'd be thinking right now. But now I'd go up. Because I've said I want to push the ball at him from high to low. I need to shoot that ball. And I'd go wham, and I'd front flip and send it, hopefully, like a bullet. Probably me, I couldn't do, but a good player could. So here, it's the same thing. You've gone high to low. You've gone up so early, which is fine if you were to get underneath this, keep it high, or to go for a double, let's say. But because you're going, like, the way you're coming into the ball so early, is you're fighting so much of the ball that it's a low to high, which allows him to take control. So if you imagine you're on the receiving end of this shot, imagine how easy that would be for you to just move away a little bit more, cut that ball, and I'm off. Come here, bang, bang, bounce dribble. So really important to make sure We're not just doing that hit just for the sake of trying to put something on the net, which I like, which would work to Grand Champ, fine. But now we need low to high on shots as well. Let's write that down. Take some draws for that. Oops. Low to high on. Okay. It sounds like I'm just like being like on everything right now with you, but I'm doing it because I want you to get better. So don't take anything of this personal, right? The idea is we're trying to really, get you top notch hit. So I'm hoping you let this go into the corner, thinking about blocking. Don't turn into this ball, because if you turn into this, you're going to hit it towards the opponent who's ready to jab that at you. Let's see what you do. Perfect. Nice. That's really good. Yeah, well played. That's an opportunity. Yeah, that is an opportunity. Really good. Yeah, nice. Single jump. The only way this could get any better is potentially don't come off that backboard so early. Just come to here. And what you're looking at is like, generally, like your teammate would normally win this because they were higher. But you're just looking at the 50. And then I would probably come down because, oh no. See you're doing the spins again. And it's not like lined up properly. But here, I would look like here. And then I'd come down now. And I'd come onto the outside of this ball here. And my first touch would come this way. Because look, I'm looking at their second man. And I'd move it this way. There's another goal. But you're pretty unfortunate your teammate didn't win that because they were higher. But look at the way you're taking off for these aerials. They're really inefficient. This isn't, like I say, this isn't about trying to work on your mechanics with spins. This is just bad technique. And it's not going to get better doing this because you are just drilling and repping over and over bad form. It's the same as someone who, a lot of people actually can't walk properly. Okay, we got like bad gait. You walk so much day to day. And then in a few years' time, your knees are shot, your hips are shot, your ankles are shot. It's like, yeah, because you never walked properly and you were doing so many steps per day. Whereas if you took time back and got the fundamental walking pattern and leveled that up, you would go so much further before you got injured. It's kind of like this. Like again, you can tell a good aerial by the lines, okay, the boost lines, and your boost lines isn't propelling you upwards a lot. So the main thing is you didn't waste a lot of boost here. So I can appreciate this. Okay, I can appreciate what you're trying to do, but you could have just because again, you've done a great job of pretty much facing the play there. So just jump, lean back, touch. No need to spin there at all. You would have hit the ball so much earlier. But you get a good connection there. So I can see, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to learn the spins. But you got to be real careful how you go about that. Nice, well played. Really well played. Bit of camera usage would be lovely here. Because you're sort of on the ball. What I would love to see is just to quickly zik with the camera and then let go. And then get back there. But really nice. Yeah, really good. That's good. I think you could just feel that. Ah, that's bad from the teammate. Oh, that's lucky. Okay. So, here, this is why it's so important to set the camera. There is no one around here. He's just gone into the net. He can't take it. The opponent is just on the left-hand side of the screen. First touch here is not a shot. First touch here is I'm trying to touch this and get around it to take it to the corner. Try and grab some boost. If you push it away, it's going to be real difficult because now, again, you're playing catch-up. By the time you land, the shot's back on. It's a great save, actually. Be careful going for boost here. Yeah, that's good. Nice. Well played. Okay. You could score this. You could actually score this. Focus on the fundamentals. There is nothing happening here. You guys need a goal. This stuff isn't going to help, per se, unless you get fortunate. You could actually just come into net here. And because they're attacking from the corner, the chance of scoring that is so low. Just come here. I let him hit that ball. There you go. Look, you didn't even beat him. So look, there you go. He hit. Oh no, you did hit him. Okay, but look where he's actually hitting that ball. This is where this next level is. You really gotta go back to the positions. Go back to fundamentals. Week 1, week 2. Focus on the positioning because this is why we do it. Is to find this stuff. This guy is coming again, not from the best angle. He has no chance in hell of scoring this. Look at his positioning. No chance in hell. He's going to hit that ball. It's going to smack here. And it's just going to go across here. If you waited in net, he hits that, you can just tap it in. It's literally going to go to their net. But you've come across the net here to defend something that didn't need defending. See here, doesn't need defending, straight in the net. That's really important. The fundamentals here are what's going to take you to the next level. And again, I hate to say it, but you're spinning. You've squared yourself up really well there. Again, that's something you're good at, really, for sure. And you're spinning. The squares, if you want to go for this, which you shouldn't, in my opinion, you could do this in threes maybe, but you just no need for it in twos because you've got an open net about to be given to you. Jump up, lean back, and just hit that ball. And that way you'd beat him to it. You could air roll, land on the wall here. You could just shoot it off the bounce like Fairy Peak style. But you're spinning and you're taking yourself off like positions you need. Because look, you're not boosting up to the ball now. You're not going upwards to the ball. You're sort of coming across. So you're getting to the ball much later than if you just leant back. I can't stress this enough. And I know you're a big fundamental guy and you're big into that. But you've got to be real careful about even letting that sort of stuff seep into your game. Because if you do, you won't level up like you think you're going to level up. I'll be completely honest. Because you will get worse and worse and worse. Before you get better, maybe you do. As opposed to if you do basics and do like practice the stuff in free play with the spins to level it up and then take it into a game. But just focus on, like, don't spin if you don't need to spin. Because I see so many players do like permanent spinning rings maps. When they get into a game, they spin every aerial and they miss. And it's inefficient, they waste boost. Watch a pro player in that position, they would not spin. They would literally just jump up and aerial that because you're perfectly lined up. You don't need to spin and do any manipulation of the car unless you're actually like trying to get around the ball or whatever. But you just don't need to there because you just need to hit it. And yeah, there's just no need to spin. But like, you're hopefully you'll see it. In fact, they actually did a decent spin here because they just span like boom boom, and look how nose up their spin is. Fair play to them. But they didn't waste any boost at the end. So that's what I would say. Like maybe work on like the basic spin first if you really want to spin, but try to get up. When you're thinking of aerials, like you want to get your nose back. It looks to me like you're not holding up, like back down on the joystick before you jump in, because it's like you're jumping and just see how your nose is never up. So I don't know if you guys take off at the same time, but that's actually a really good aerial from them. Oh look. Okay, so he takes off like a fraction, okay, a little bit before you, but notice how up his nose is compared to yours. And your nose still isn't up, but he's already reached his height because he took it off earlier. So he's already much higher, and I don't know. I just think just be careful with that sort of stuff. Don't want it to influence your game too much. Okay, nice. Okay, bad from teammate. Yep. Yeah, again they've dove into the corner. Again, you're going to see this. Unfortunately, you see this in the high lobbies as well. Much better. And isn't it funny that almost the one time when you actually were unable to go for an aerial or unable to block the ball, you actually, because of that, you get the goal. This is what I'm trying to say. Like this one is, to believe it or not, this is the most dangerous one. This you definitely needed to block because they've got a good angle to score here. A lot of people can score that. But they both miss. Now, the point of that, the reason I'm pointing this out, is because you're overestimating your opponents. You're seeing them go through these corners and you're acting like they can redirect it. Even if they did redirect it, you should be able to save a redirect from here easily. Because the angle is, you have so little to save. Because the angle, like, it's not going to come through the net, it's going to come across into the net. So it's so easy to save. You're giving them too much respect in situations you don't need to. And then here, you didn't give them enough respect. This is truly dangerous. So as you're moving back and they hit that, like, because you're ready for this shot here. So as you're moving back, you're ready. If this is on target, you just go up and save it. If it's not on target here, you have to go up and block this. You have to go up the aerial here, and you have to hit this ball. Now, ideally, you do it quickly so you can get it around this player as opposed to hitting this guy because it will dunk you. But you've got to go for this. But because you don't, again, you can see their true skill level isn't as high as what you think, and a great front flip basic shot. Because again, I reckon one of your strengths is you square yourself up to the ball well, but then I think you try and overdo it and you take yourself off. Look, like again, like that was perfect. But you were squared up perfectly for this shot here. Absolutely perfect. But I feel like you're trying to... If you just forward flip here, you've scored. Like, that would be a rocket over here. But I don't know if you're trying to do too much, but you've got like a fundamental like this. I think you can tell, you're like a random player, obviously, because of this stuff. But I feel like you're trying to force things into your game that don't need to be in your game. It's making everything so much harder. Like a front flip there would have scored. A side flip, it's just not needed for that shot. So just be careful. I mean, obviously it could just be a misclick, but just be real careful here. Excellent. Yep, I like that. I'm going to 2v1. That's good. You're not allowing him to take this shot. Exactly what you should do. Good fake from him. Okay, let's see what you do here. Don't dive. Don't dive. This was good. What you could do here is climb this wall. Match the height of the ball on the wall. Remember that. And he can't do anything. So just match it. Match it. Match it. Come here. Now, this looks dangerous to them. Then you could always just come back down. Now you're here. But if you do this move, which is fine, like something I do, don't dive here. Because the chance of you winning that is low. Again, you don't want to be focusing on the ball too much right now. You know where the ball's going to land. Avert your eyes straight to Onks. Look who's engaging with this ball. Okay, he's coming across. But what does that mean? It means he's going to hit the ball away from himself into a ball where he's going to stick, which means the ball's going to go middle. Potentially, I can pick this ball up for free and score. Let's see. There it is. There's my free pickup. Bonk. Move it this way because this guy's facing the wrong direction. See how he's facing the corner? So I can get around the back of him and then I just dribble flick. That's a goal. Just take it down to an easier level here. Oh, okay, that's also brutal. But your teammate is so far forward. But see, like this thing, and this is why I say to people that the ranks aren't, not where they should be. There's so much. Like, why is he even trying to jump into that ball? Because even if he hits that ball, he's still stuck against the wall, and the ball still bounces away. Do you know what I mean? Like, why is everything so pushed forward? You should just fake this. Fake this, take that ball into space, there's another goal. It's difficult, obviously solo queue, I'm guessing, yeah. But we've also done the same. We're diving into stuff that we shouldn't do and shouldn't be. All right, we need a goal with 1 second. You don't need to go for that. If you really wanted to win this, you should not be up in the air, because how are you going to hit this ball, control it, and get a goal? You need to get into car cam, look around, grab this boost, come here, still looking around. Maybe then, if this ball comes down, because you hit it, it would have landed here. He's missed it anyway. Grab this, maybe just flick it on the open net. But I don't know. Maybe you gave up on that at the end there. Best replay. Okay, this I'm looking forward to. So this must be a win then. But hopefully this is helping, man. I'm being brutal with this one. I'm picking as many things as I can. So were we in the Octane? No, we were in a different car. Oh, was it the Takumi or something? I don't know. X-Devil, I don't know. We're in the fundamental. We're in the FedEx. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Good kickoff. Nice kickoff. Okay, let's just now do something real basic. Turn, front flip, grab, get to position. Come up here because this is dangerous. Double jump, intercept, land. He's the last man. This guy's been beaten. Go for a demo potentially or knock him out of the way. Instead, watch this. We're going to jump, air roll, and flip. Why? To the edge, to the outside. Why? Is this stuff that we're trying to work on? But if we are, why are we working on it? Because no one's going to do that. Like, you don't want to do that. I don't know if it's a misclick or not, but the reason I'm pointing this out is because it just looks like you're trying to do weird stuff under the idea that you could level it up, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. It just keeps you sort of planted down. Okay, nice boost grab, but he's going to be too late because you went to the side, and your teammate was in the corner there. So I can appreciate you might be thinking, I'll rotate that side. But yeah, difficult. Okay. Yeah, fair dues. Nice first touch. Yeah, I like this because even though your teammate's on the ball, you had the boost. I mean, I would personally have left the teammate, but nice touch infield. Nice. Didn't force that. What you would want to do here is, again, because they're coming in, because I'm watching them, as they come in for this, I turn away, and I'm just going to single jump like that. So I'm just going to single jump here because they're going to nose forward. Surprise, surprise. They always do. And what that would do is I just go, and they would just go, they'd be completely stuck. And I just go around them and score that side of the car. Fundamentals. Everything has to be fundamental. Before you start building up these mechanics, you have to get the fundamentals. That's unfortunate. Nice idea, though. Yeah, these are always tricky. Yeah, always tricky. One thing I would say here, these spins are making you slow to these aerials, but I can understand why you spam because it's difficult. But if you watch this, if you just double jump now, lean back and boost now, boost, 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 just get up, boost, and sort of hit this towards the backboard, you're fine. But because you're now boosting as you spin, it's hard for you to get to the height. But a lot of people do that. It is difficult. Good, great position from the teammate, jeez. That is oh, he landed in the net. Well, that works out well. Back, yeah, exactly why we sit there. Well played. All right. This is good. Yep, yep, nice. Good. This is already better because you're using your camera. But don't challenge that. Because you're taking a drive challenges. Don't listen to people who say drive challenges are safe. Drive challenges are not safe in the slightest. Not in this manner. You're on the outside of the ball. So already you're losing. The only reason you should be here is if you think you can get a shot off before this. If you come here and take a drive challenge, you are driving it into him who is shooting. And if he times this a little bit earlier, that's going to pinch straight into your net. This should go midfield, yeah. Oh, there you go. Let's go straight into your net. Oh, it actually is a goal. Oh, yeah, there you go. So this is why you never do these challenges. Always, when you're on the outside of the ball, turn away if they're close. You have to turn away. This is, again, it's fun. It's a fundamental skill. Boom. I know where the ball is. Where's the opponent? Forget the ball. I know where the ball is. I'm a grand champ. I know exactly where that ball is. Right. Where's the opponent? Right. They're coming at me. I'm going to drive in. And right at the last second, I'm going to turn away. I'm baiting. Or, to be honest, I would have drove in a bit more and just double jump that. Because I can beat him. I can clearly see I can beat him. Which is why I like to get close first. But as he comes in, I turn away. I turn away and I let him shoot himself into a wall. He's going to shoot himself into a wall. He's going to stick. The ball's going to bounce. I fake it so that ball bounces into the middle. I pick it up and just take it back, get some space, get some breathing time. Right? It's all fundamentals here. But this is good. I mean, obviously, this is why you've sent this over to me to have a look at it, and I appreciate that. But just really, making sure we're hammering those. Like here's really good because you do the same thing, boom. But look how close. Like this is almost way better than the last game because look how close you get before you take this shot on the ground. You're like, now you've just decided to go, which is brilliant. And so you can see that you can clearly win this shot. If he was a bit closer, obviously, would have been the same situation. You're on the outside of the ball, but so were they in that situation. And by the way, that's why I just want to go back to this goal. Is it this one? This is why it's so important to defend from a goal side position because the challenge then means that if you are on the outside, it pinches to your net. Whereas if he's also on the outside, it doesn't. It could just go into the middle, but it won't go to the net in the same manner. It's either just a win or loss. Okay. Good follow. Good. Brilliant. That's improved. Okay. The matching the height of the ball on the wall is really improved here, dude. But, like, I can appreciate you going for this. 4:14 left. Yeah, maybe. I think these spins have got to go. Honestly, I really do. I really think these spins are just messing you up for no reason. Personally, I wouldn't bother going for this. Or what I do like to do is jump off and go onto the ceiling. So you're like here. That way, if they do go in field, you're sort of falling now. And you can always just like flip into it, single jump. But I wouldn't like to throw myself into the corner here. But I just want you to look again at these spins. Right, nosing up. That's good. Okay, that's actually much better. But what happens? Look at this. This is why it's so important. So you're in a position. You jump off. Your nose, this is great. Okay, you can spin now. Fair dues. Now, because you're holding air roll and you're looking like maybe you're pressing like towards 3/2 o'clock on your joystick, you're starting to invert your car downwards, right? So now you've made yourself flat. So by the time the ball comes, your car is as flat as a pancake here. As you can see, it literally as flat as you can get it, pretty much. So you want to be, if you're taking a blocking 50, you want your car to be upwards. It covers more. If you weren't upwards, you'd at least like to be flat on the other plane. I suppose it's almost like if you looked at the sort of the map as a center point, almost like on the transverse plane. So as you're here, if you were to block this, you're basically a missile right now. If you weren't upwards like this, which we'd want, you'd at least want to be sideways like this, so showing him your wheels, because at least you're blocking stuff. Because you're sending yourself in like a bit of a torpedo here or whatever, your chance of hitting the ball is just going out the window. It's just maybe the spins aren't needed. Good challenge. Notice that almost pinches on net because he's so wide. So well played. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Good timing. You've been a bit more aggressive here. That's fair. Good, well played. I thought you were, but yeah, you did a good job there. Okay, nice positioning. So again, seeing the same move here. These guys are in comms. I don't think the last two were. And it's almost like you learned from the last time, so you're just much more central positioned, and you're much calmer. Well played. That's actually on them for hitting you. Brilliant. Much, much better. Okay. Yes. The first time in what? I mean, that game went into overtime, so say 6-7 minutes. First time you've gone for a carry into a flick. Everything else, you were just smashing the ball away. And you've had time. You've had loads of time to do this. But this is the first time you've actually done it. And, I mean, okay. You might be trying to do some sort of flick, but here's the thing. Notice you're sort of boosting yourself. The way you're doing your car here before your flick, this could just be a mechanical thing. It'd be better on a call just to know this, but you generally want to kind of flick the ball upwards. So I'm not sure exactly what flick you're going for because your nose down in again. There's one thing you definitely want to look at here is how often your nose is going down. Like, if you front flip there, you might get lift. Okay, nice. Okay, good. Good boost because he was going to grab that, I think. Okay, nice. Always be careful of this. Right, I've got a coaching session in 10 minutes. So I'm going to try and get through this these notes as fast as I can here. Okay, so your teammate's quite aggressive in this one compared to the last one. Good job faking it. Well, it looks like you're actually concentrating on this one more. Like, you're like, okay. So it's like that last game. I'm like, right, I'm going to put a bit more attention in. So this is fine. Look at their second man here. I appreciate you definitely couldn't get early. Didn't see them, so that makes sense. Okay, fair dues. This is already looking more fundamental. Much closer on that particular play. Again, a nice flick. So you're not like screwing yourself over. This is way better. But just slow down a bit. Slow down a bit here. You're just trying to curve into the play too early. You don't need to. Just keep moving. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. I'd move to here, I think, on that play. And here. And then, to be honest, I might just bump this player and then just get back into it. Let's see what happens. Oh, good positioning from yourself, though. That's even better. Yeah, this is good. Ah, okay, that isn't. You don't want to rely on your teammate to hit this ball. They're not going to hit this ball. This is... What's he going for, an aerial in the corner? Nah, absolutely madness. So just go into deep net here. Get a view of everyone because you know he's missing. And even if he hits it, it's not going to do anything. But if this guy shoots this ball, it's a goal because you're in no man's land. Oh, he completely fluffed his shot up. Okay. Let's see this. Definitely go deeper because that shot, if it's on net, would have been a goal. So the spin in here is much better. But, like, again, what's the reason for the spins? Because you didn't need a spin to hit this, but the spins were a good idea because you should have really gone for a flip reset here so you don't hit it away. That would have been the better thing to do. Like, so you could have landed even closer with it. Nice, good positioning. Look at this shot, right? Look at your nose on this shot. It's definitely something going on. I don't know if you're constantly pushing up on the controller or something. Look, but look at this. You jump... And it's like, I don't know, it almost feels like you're constantly pushing your nose into the floor. I don't know how, in real time it looked a bit more obvious. Hard to see on the replay, but I think you're pushing down on your joystick and dodging too slowly or something. See what I mean? It doesn't look right. That should have been a side flip, by the way. Side flip to the left here. The ball's moving to the right, so you want to counter it. Think hook shot. Again, hook shot would have scored that. Like that. Even if you don't score it, hits the backboard. They're screwed. Look at their positionings. They're both driving away. They're not saving this if it's off the backboard, so you could just tap it in off the backboard. But here, if you don't want to do that, and the hook shot might go too high, the side flip shot's the choice. So you sort of curve into it and then side flip to the left to fight that momentum, and it'll go like a bullet. Again, it's just... this is such a weird dodge. I can't tell if you're doing that. I think you are. There's something up, man. I think you're leaning your controller forward a lot, but then you didn't there. Okay, right. This isn't bad because there's no follow-up here and it's not super duper on the wall. That's not the best. I wouldn't recommend this, but this here, right? So it's not a perfect side flip, but it works because they've pushed the middle so much that a perfect side flip would also be the best route. Always is, really. But that'll work and it should allow you to recover and keep the boost. But notice it still stops that ball coming with you as much. Sort of trails a bit too much, but we want it a bit more close. Nice dunk. It seems a very fast, like, very chaotic game. Okay, you could have won that 50. You should have stayed side on here. Good foot, brilliant touch. Absolutely world-class touch here. And then you turn into it. Forget turning into it. You know he's there. Stay side on. And then you side flip here. Because look, he's nosing forward as well. And if I side flip, look at where he is. So I'm long here. I would have took that ball with me and he would have gone fly. He would have gone punk like that. He's too high on the hitbox. But you keep nosing forward on everything. And then you can't follow it. And you're actually helping him out. Because you're not dragging that ball away from him. You're actually giving him the counter resistance he needs here to stay on this ball. Believe it or not. See, look, you're on the outside of this ball. So if you move this ball with you, he's going to deflect off because he's in a bad... Like, this is a terrible dodge from him. Like, no control at all. But because you're counter resisting it, it allows him to stick onto this ball because you're actually forcing it back into him a bit, which allows him to come across like that. You actually stabilize his car there. Why it's so important to side flip into space. Like, it's just that fundamental stuff. Don't, like, just almost pull yourself literally a little bit back here. Okay, I can appreciate you trying to try different things and you're trying to, you know, level up the mechanics, but you really got to have that solid base. See, like that. What's the point of that air roll? Because it's not a good habit to get into. I can appreciate you're going to win this battle to the ball, but you've jumped so early again. So what I would have done is come here on the ground, because you're much quicker on the ground, right? So I would have been here, and then I would have been about here, and I would have just gone bonk and just jumped that over the top. And then as it's hit the backboard, demo him for my teammate to get the opening. You're chasing the ball. You're chasing the ball. Look, you see it here, and you're already up, and that's fine, I suppose. But now you're air rolling. I don't know why. I don't know why you're air rolling there. I feel like what you're trying to do is get under it for a side flip to the left. If you side flip to the left, maybe that'll send it flying, but you just don't need to. You could just jump here and side flip to the left with your nose forward. I don't think you want to overdo it on these mechanics without a purpose here. If you really want to climb to the higher ranks, because it's not about mechanical ability, it's about efficiency. Like, the mechanics have to be utilized in the right manner. Nicely done. Well played. Good. Brilliant read. Yep, that was a nice read. Yep, you can see everyone's on the ground. He gets like a little... This is bad defending, but you got the read on him. He's more... Again, this is why you match the height of the ball. They're on the outside. They can't even see anything. They're not checking the camera. And they're already thinking about coming off the ball. Off the wall. Instead of just jumping up and challenging that ball, which they should have. But again, this is why it's just a fundamental game at this rank. Because they're not going to defend in how you need it. So you just fundamentals will reign supreme, I promise you. Okay, let's see. Okay, not a bad shout. A little bit forced, if I'm being honest. But you got the bump there. I mean, it makes sense. If you could have got under this, see, you get this great turn and you push it directly into him. I feel like you could have done more here with the like here. You could have took this ball, but fair enough. I can appreciate you wanting to go in. But here, maybe now go here, then try and get around it. But I can understand that. I mean, it's impossible to get every single play like perfect. But it was a great pass. That's the main thing there. Good pass. Shame about this. That jab there, you've got a counter attack. This guy's dove in. I don't think you need that boost. You can come here and then possibly get the finish. There's a lot of air rolling. I don't know why. I'm struggling with this air rolling. I've got to be honest. It just seems excessive. I think you could have scored that without air rolling. But this is the thing. Like, mechanics have their place if they're needed. This isn't needed. If you just drove on the, again, you've jumped early, but if you drove on the ground, so you would already be here, just jumped up and just side flip it, you've scored that. I think you're just almost I just think you're forcing improvement here. Mechanical, but it's not. It's a bit of an illusion, I feel. Be careful pushing this far forward this early. Yeah, because now you're in a tough spot. But luckily, they can't score there. But I would wait here. He's fumbled that ball. He's on 0 boost. This isn't going to look good. Luckily, they go inside to outside. So yep. So now, where we would come a little bit more delayed and try and come around this if possible. But fair dues. Okay, nice nosing up. Not bad. But what's it get you? But I think this is great. I would probably go for this extra hit. Maybe like here if I could. But could, like, funny, the nose up is what got you this time. I think it's just that awareness. Maybe that'll come from practicing the arrows, but I don't know. But here, it's a shame. Just make sure that you're holding drift is what I would say. But ideally, you'd want to nose forward here. But once you're on the wall here, like there, kind of like turn obviously right. So you put your nose down a bit. But hold drift. Hold drift if this does happen. And you can always jump and lean back. You could have actually empty jumped and possibly finished that off yourself. That would have been pretty cool. Yeah, that's tough. See, that's a better move. Ooh, be careful. Yeah, don't turn. This is better. You're moving with the momentum a lot more. I think the biggest area is right because I've got to shoot off, unfortunately. But 100%, the biggest areas are that you are. Let me. What am I trying to say here? Don't over mechanic. That's all I can think of. You had a lot of balls you could have just scored. And so, you know, you're such a high rank now with Grand Champ. I think you should just be scoring and winning and leveling up that stuff. So if the balls, let's just go through the points. Great shots you're able to recover. If not do excessive air roll. Yeah, so air rolling seems to be the big thing with you on this. So let's say you've got a ball here and you're moving across here. Just take that ball into the corner, grab this, come here like you're going to hit it, and see what they do. If they come, obviously I'm on the outside. I can't drive challenge because it'll pinch to my net. So I just let them come. If they hit it up the wall, that's fine. Then I can come fake again and then look to challenge them when they come in field. Okay. Again, if there's a ball sort of like this, and I really want to try and score it, what I would recommend is as you come across, try, whoa, you can tell I haven't played in a while, try sort of flicking it up. So let me see if I can, how do I do this? Okay, so let's say you're here, it's not the best ball really, but there you would just do that and maybe then, because you're passing it to yourself, something like that. But if it was higher, if I get some momentum, sorry about this, trying to explain this, there we go. So here, right, so yeah, if it's here, instead of coming across for an aerial, just try something like that. It's not ideal again, you'd obviously want it a bit higher, but something potentially like that. But I would honestly just take those to the corner, unless you can jump them over the player. Get close and decide your shot. So what you're seeing a lot from yourself is you're sort of doing this, right? Whereas what you want to do is like you want to go right to the ball and then decide your shot. Do you see what I mean? Because once you're supersonic, so here, if I'm thinking of shooting this, I want to get right by it and then right at the end just think, okay, I'll shoot it. Or whatever. If I want to go for a higher shot, again, just get closer. Just make sure you're getting closer. Don't try and reach so much. Or like there you go, that's that move. Right, just try and decide at the end. Yeah, less nose diving. So when you are taking a 50, instead of doing this sort of stuff, like that first touch you did earlier was brilliant. Okay, so you're here. When you're here and you take this first touch to kill the ball, you should always remain side on for your 50s. Okay, and that way you're going to get through. and then low to high shot. So yeah, you generally want to focus on stuff like this. So the shot goes from low upwards into the air. Much harder to defend because it's like bar down and in. But what you're doing a lot is you're coming up and shooting like this. That's only okay for open nets because imagine the jab on the way back. If you do have a ball escaping you, you don't have to score it. You can get closer again. And then I can try and cut into it. Oh, I'm rusty. But you can see what I mean. Like, you just get closer, cut into it. And don't over mechanic. You know, you're doing a lot of this sort of stuff like this and then trying to get yourself back up. It's just a waste of movement. You could just do, you could literally just here, just go like this. It's just real simple. And like, yeah, you might get some recoil there, but just make it easy. Just make it easy for yourself. And if you want it, obviously, to finish off, I mean, I'm going to have to go in a second, but maybe use your air roll just to spin at the end, maybe. I don't know. But just try and make it simple. Like, don't use mechanics on shots. Vince's strength and accuracy, I'll write it down. Do all of the shots 5 times without air roll. But I've got to show you, I've got the coaching session. But I really appreciate you sending that in, and I hope it helps. Take care, look after yourself, and peace out, brother.